in Sri Lanka, there's something called a Nadi. We have lots of people claims that it's very accurate, blah blah blah. They say exact things about people, and it's not a place like thousands of people go and get the service, and it's quite expensive.
Let me clarify. The palm leaves, the Nadi Jyotidam, they call it in Tamil. You are talking about that, are you?
Yeah.
I got your point. I got your point. This is called as Nadi Jyotidam. In Tamil, Nadi means search. Their claim is that whatever past, present, and future of people has been put on palm leaves by Agastya Muni. And those leaves are lying somewhere. All you have to do is search for them and then read them. And they say you can't read it because it's written in some script which only they can read, interpret, and they will tell you things about yourself. Right? So you have to go to a particular place, give your thumbprint, and you have to give your date and time of birth. They will go and search, and they claim if they get the leaf, they will read it. If they do not get, well, you can go back. But I don't think they will never not get the leaf of anyone. They always get it. And for that they tell, you know how we got it? He said, no. Today, every morning we go to the temple. They foretell who are the people who are going to come here today. And so they give their leaves. So 99% of the time we will have your leaf. And then they will read from it. And you think they read from it. They do not read any damn thing from it. They read your body. They ask you questions. And through your answers, they use a technique called as cold reading. And you do not realize that you are giving the answer. They will ask you, your name starts from A, Z, X, Y, B, C. You will say no. Then they will ask you another question. Then they will say it starts from N, M, Y, J, K. Like that, they will eliminate all the alphabets until they get your name, R. Then they'll say, oh, it starts with R. Oh, yeah, you are flabbergasted. How does he know? Because he has eliminated that through asking you very clever questions, which you don't realize. See, and your date and time of birth they already have, so they know your age. So I went to one place in Kumbakonam. I gave my date. They said you are retired because I'm over 60, naturally retired. And they said you are a government servant. I said okay. Then they said your name starts from this. Finally, only Zad was left. So they said your name starts from Zad. I said yes. And they said you are a Muslim. I said yes. Because Muslim Zad name starts from Muslims only. So then they started telling all sorts of things. And I started saying yes, 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 yes to every damn thing they said. And finally, when it was over, I asked them, how did you say this? They said it's from your leaves. I said, what nonsense are you talking? You call me a Muslim? You said I have two wives? You said this, all that is bullshit. And those fellows said, he got so angry, he folded his leaves, he put them under his armpit and walked out. He walked out of his own shop. And it was agreed that I had to pay him 250 rupees if he told me correctly. There's a guarantee. He says you have to pay me only if I tell correctly about it. And I asked him, have you ever read your leaves? He said, why are you bothered about me? I said, if you had read your leaves, it would have been written in that today one man will come and he will tell you all lies and you should kick him out. So instead of kicking me out, he walked out of his shop. I waited for 10 minutes and then I also came. Another time we went shooting there for an Australian TV channel. There I had taken the horoscope of my dead brother-in-law, my sister-in-law's husband. And he was predicting a bright future for him and all that nonsense. And finally I told him, look here, this man is dead a year back. He had no answer. But the Australian TV producer who had already paid him said, you must not confront these people. So we walked out of it. So it is like that. So they tell you things based on your body language, your reactions. And you think that they're telling about your past correctly and they will tell about your future correctly. It's not just one trick. There are other tricks also. See, I come and tell you, Rohana, I know a very good astrologer. Why don't you come with me? I'll take you there. He'll tell correctly about you. Bring your horoscope and all that. And when you give your thing, he tells very correctly about you and you're very happy. Who has told him? Simple. I have told him about you. That trick was tried with me nearly 40 years back. One of my friends came and told me, you don't believe in astrology? I said, yeah, I do not. He said, I will make you believe in astrology. I said, okay, go ahead. He said, tomorrow you bring your horoscope. I said, okay, I'll bring. He said, I'll bring an astrologer who will tell correctly about you. So next day, I brought my horoscope. The astrologer who had come read it and told me things very correctly about me. He said, you are a very well-educated man. You have a postgraduate degree and you're working for your doctorate. He said, you have a 4-figure salary. A 4-figure salary was a big thing in those days. And then he said everything about me very correctly. That this comes from a very rich family, but however things are tied in litigation. I said, how did you tell all this? He also pointed to me that Saturn is in this house, Venus is in that house, Mars is in that house, Sun is in this house. I said, yeah, you told me very correctly about myself. But unfortunately, that horoscope is not mine. It is someone else's. I had brought an horoscope of a friend who was getting a 2-figure salary in those days, who had left school in the 6th standard, whose family did not even have a own house. And he said everything about me ascribed to that horoscope. He was totally out there. No, he was just blustering, saying, oh, no, no, no. Sometimes, and then he said, I'm an amateur astrologer. So these astrologers all bluff. And palmistry, you know, is only cold reading because the subject is in front of you. Once I was speaking at a nursing college at Bangalore. This one girl came on the stage and told me, sir, what do you say about palmistry? I said, palmistry is a science. She said, can you read my palm? I said, okay, I will read. I said, you are the only daughter of very rich parents. She said, how do you? Wait a minute, I'll tell more about it. I said, you are a very stubborn girl. She was shocked. She said, yes. She said, sir, be more specific. I said, yeah, I'll be more specific. You got around 75% marks in your +2 12th standard. She was shocked. She said, how do you know, sir? Then I said, your parents are in the Gulf, right? She said, yes, sir. Then I said, there's something, a very personal matter, which I don't want to tell in front of all these people, because they're all students of the nursing college. She said, no, sir, you can tell. I said, at the age of 18, I think, you fell in love with a boy, right? And that boy was a relative. And both your parents and your relatives, they were very angry with you. They told you not to meet that boy again, right? She was shocked. She was about to collapse. She said, sir, this is really accurate science, sir. Palmistry. I said, yeah. They said, my dear, I did not read your palm, I read your body. But I did not explain to her how I did. You know how I did it? Every girl I meet is stubborn and wants to have her own way. The
Yeah.
way this girl came, and generally you have 2 children. So I played it safe by saying you are the only girl of your parents. It was. And then her accent was a Malayali accent. So I could make out that she was from Kerala. And then she was wearing a chain around her neck, something like a dog's chain. And this is generally used to bring gold from Gulf to India because that's the cheapest chain. And then it is melted and made into more useful ornament. And she had around her neck. So I guess right. And then she had a cross. So I could guess that she's a Malayali Christian. And these Malayali Christian girls are not allowed to mix with boys. They're orthodox. So only boys she would have met are her cousins. And at her age, at the age of 18, I think this girl will agree with that. Falls in love. It may be a film actor. It may be a classmate. It may be a relative. The hormones at work. So I guessed it right. And then, what about her marks? If she had got 80% with such rich parents, they would have put her in medical school, paying the huge amount. Because she got less, they put her in the nursing school. So every one of my guesses was correct. When this happened, another girl came up on the stage. Sir, tell me about myself. I said, only child of your parent, spoiled totally, and you are butting in like this. She was about to collapse. She said, how did you find out? I said, I've got my ways. My third eye tells me about you people. I don't even need to need your palm. Should I tell you more about you? She said, no, sir. Because she was afraid I expose some secret. So this is the way things happen. It's only body reading, cold reading, and I've done it so accurately in India, Sri Lanka, and in Nepal. I do not know whether it will work in the West. This. And I've got some exercises through which I totally convince the people that I've got some supernatural powers. And I call it as astro-numeropalmistry. And in that technique, I've said very correctly about many people, predicted their future, got money out of them. One man was ready to pay 20,000 rupees for a pizza. And when I return that money, he says, you holy people, you don't want anything for yourselves, and you are not prepared to give anything for others also. You have powers, but you are not prepared to exercise them for others. And he walked away very angry. So such are the techniques used to convince people that they have got powers. See, future you can talk any nonsense. And that future you will talk depending on what you have read of the past. And when you say something about the past, you see the body reactions of the people. So these people are very good cold readers. That means they read the body sign.